Okay, today we will learn about the lunar phase, or how the moon is seen around our Earth. Okay, so here is the Earth and this is the moon, and what the moon is doing is it is orbiting, and to orbit is a noun, which means it's a curved path that goes around an object like the Earth or a star or a planet. It can also be a verb, to orbit. The moon orbited, a regular verb, around the Earth. So here the moon is orbiting, and this is the sun right here, and the rays of the sun are hitting the Earth and the moon, so that's where we get this full moon. And just so you know, the moon takes 29.53 days, so about 30 days to go around or to orbit the Earth. So if we start with the phases of the moon, or the lunar phases, we start out with a new moon, and what you can see is that the sun is hitting this side of the moon, and here on Earth, if we're here in Colorado, we see the dark side, or we don't see the moon. That's called a new moon. And then it continues. It makes what we call in English this crescent, and it's waxing, meaning it's increasing. It's slowly getting more of the moon that we can see. And if you look here on the Earth, you're going to see a half, or the first quarter it's called, the first quarter. And then if we're on the Earth, we're going to see most of the moon, the angle here, which is a waxing gibbous. And now look right here where the moon is. If we're on the Earth, we see the whole bright side, the sun's rays, the light is hitting the moon right here, and we call that the full moon. Now the moon is continuing, it's changing. The moon is orbiting or continuing around the Earth, and it's now giving us this waning gibbous. Here is the last quarter, the waning crescent. Again, here's that crescent, just like we had the waxing crescent. We have the waning crescent, and then back to a new moon, which we said was about 29.53 days. Now there's this great video which will show you how this whole phase, or the moon phase, plays out. So I stopped it here, and if you look, you can see we see half of the moon here, and look at the angle where we're here on the Earth and the moon is over here. And now it's totally dark. So we call that the new moon. Remember, that's the new moon. And from there, do you remember what that is? It is waxing, it's increasing, and we have this crescent, the crescent. And just take a look of the visual, which you can see. Here we are on Earth, and we're seeing half of the moon. Here's half, the bright side that we can see. And now what do we have here? The full moon. And you can see, we can see the bright side of the moon over here. So that's one video to give you an idea. And here's another video just to give you another perspective of it. So here it's a little faster, and you can see what we are looking at. Here, when it's going around, it's darker. That's what we see. We can't see, and that's the new moon. And here we see part of the crescent, and it's coming around, and now I'm going to stop it. Let me go back a little bit, and here you can see the full moon. And here's another look at the phase of the moon here for a month. So you can see we have a new on the 8th, and then you slowly get these crescents, which are waxing, and by the time we get to the 23rd here, we have a full moon. But then it starts to wane. We get these waning crescents, and then already on the 6th, which is about 29.53 days, we are back at at a new moon. So that's our lesson for today, the lunar phase, how the moon looks from the Earth and how we see it as it orbits or rotates around the Earth. So thanks for your time and happy learning. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.